Thank you, Mr. James Berry, Director of Bands, Okemos High School, and the marvelous Okemos High School Band. I want to welcome the class of 1993 to these commencement ceremonies and family and friends to this very glorious day for such a marvelous occasion. And to begin our afternoon ceremonies, I would invite you to stand for the Star-Spangled Banner to be sung by sonical singers under the direction of Mr. Frank DeWald.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous night, on the ramparts we watched, through some careless be streaming, and the rockets red glare, the bombs bursting in air, they flew through the night, and the wreck was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the brave and the home of the
I would now like to introduce to you our honored guests that are sharing the dais with me this afternoon. On my far right, the Superintendent of Okemos Public Schools, Dr. Dan C. Wirtz. And I think it would be well to add that Dr. Wirtz is completing his 13th year as Superintendent of Okemos Schools, which means that the graduation class we honor today began as kindergartners the day Dr. Wirtz assumed his superintendency 13 years ago. And next to Dr. Wirtz is Board of Education President, Mr. Bruce Hunting. Vice President, Mr. Ronald Styka. Secretary, Mrs. Barbara Hanson. Parliamentarian, Mrs. Beverly Austin. And Treasurer, Mr. Bill Rawls. At this point, I would like to recognize two very special young ladies among the graduates of 1993 at Okemos High School. They are the co-valedictorians, which simply put means that for their entire four-year career in high school at Okemos High School, they achieved no grade below an A for a perfect 4.0 grade point average. Ms. Lorelei Hatfield and Ms. Jana Rumminger. Each year, in preparation for commencement, we invite any student in the class to audition to be selected to speak at graduation exercises. This year, there were some 11 people who auditioned for this honor, and 4 were selected. We will hear from those 4 speakers this afternoon, and our first commencement speaker is Brian Forney.
We've made it! After 4 years, we finally passed the test. Over the past 4 years, we've stuck together. And together we've experienced tragedy and triumph, and felt pain and joy. But through it all, we've stuck together. Congratulations, everybody. And welcome friends, family, faculty, administration, and school board members. Now that we've finished this test, we're provided a perfect opportunity to take stock of things. Let us look at where we are, where we've been, and where we're going. 4 years ago, we entered this school as innocent freshmen. Fresh from being the top of the heap in middle school, suddenly dropped to the bottom of the totem pole again. They say history repeats itself, and it seems as though it has in this case. We are now the oldest, wisest students in the school, doling out advice and helpful hints to any underclassmen who we feel desperately needs it. In just a few months, however, all of us will be on the bottom of the totem pole again, about to enter a whole new world, begin a whole new challenge, and work our way up again. Whether it be in college or a career, we will be experiencing a tougher, more competitive world. How will we be as rookies again? Well, let us look at the freshman class in our school right now. They're just like we were, you know. Of course, in pride, many of us will say that that can't be. That class is just too immature, too naive, too freshman. I've got news for you. We were just like that 4 years ago. And we get to do it all again. And we'll make the same mistakes as every freshman class before us. That, of course, will lead to assaults by critics. People will complain that we'll not be prepared to handle the responsibilities of leadership, much less our own lives. But every generation has gone through these critical attacks, and every generation dishes it out on those behind them. Yet despite all the doubt and lack of faith, there has never been a generation that has been a complete and total failure. Every generation has made its mistakes, but every generation has also had its successes. So what will we do with our future? Well, that is what we have to decide. We have to look at everything done before us, separate the mistakes from the successes, and improve upon the successes. Then, we must be original in finding other methods to replace previous mistakes. We all have dreams and hopes, and we must use those to better the world for ourselves and for those who will follow. It's been said that you were never given a wish without being given the power to make it true. You may have to work for it, however. It's true. We all possess the power to do what needs to be done. All we need to do is strive for our goals, and we succeed. We can prove the oldest generation's fears to be unwarranted. All we have to do is put a lot of effort into it. It is not the critic who counts. Not the man who pointed out how the strong man stumbled, or where the doer of deeds could have done them better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred with dust and sweat and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes short again and again, who at the best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement, and who, at the worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory or defeat. Those words were spoken by Teddy Roosevelt many years ago, and they still hold true today. Throughout these past 4 years, since my father shared this quote with me as I graduated from 8th grade, I have looked to these words as a source of inspiration and strength. I see it only fitting that I share them with all of you today, as we prepare to take on our new worlds and new challenges that come with them. Personally, I say we're ready. I share no doubts with our critics. I know that none of us has to be a cold and timid soul. I have faith. I have faith that in the end we will succeed. We can make any future we want to. Maybe we'll fail once or twice, but in the end, when all is said and done, we will succeed so long as we set out to do it. Not try to do it. No. Try implies a doubt in our own abilities to accomplish our goals. What we will do is set out to do, and we will succeed so long as we know in our hearts we can do it. It's our turn now. Let's get out there, do our part, and make our mark.
Thank you, Brian. Our next speaker is Kumud Qatar.
guests, members of the board, Dr. Wirtz, Dr. Lanzetta, and my fellow graduates. Having learned and grown, having studied and digested, having planned and prepared, we need to reflect before emerging as the individuals we are to become. We, the graduating class of 1993, can be perceived as larvae in the process of building our own cocoons with the expectation of one day becoming beautiful butterflies. At this point, we, the individual students, represent the larvae in the midst of tremendous change, with the aspirations of one day fulfilling great dreams. For the past 4 years, our lives have centered around this microcosm we call high school. 4 years full of rejections, sympathy, failures, and achievements. The good decisions and the not so good decisions. The caterpillar we once were now begins to change and needs to blend the experiences of the past into the various layers of the cocoon. The choices we have made will always be a part of this growth, but they are behind us now and should not be dwelled upon. So whether we stumbled through those last few days or appreciated them with all we knew how, we are all here, together. What matters now is what we do next. Every single one of us has the opportunity to redefine who we are. Rarely does life give us this chance. We will be called upon to make major decisions in the next few years, and with each decision we make comes a new layer on our cocoon. All of these additions will serve as a reservoir of strength that the butterfly may need to reflect upon in the future. But one thing we need to be careful of is that we don't become trapped within our own cocoon. Henry Ford once said, "One who fears failure limits his activities. Failure is only the opportunity to more intelligently begin again." So we must not hide within the layers, but rather come out stronger and more knowledgeable than we were before. Hopefully we can learn from our mistakes and thrive on our accomplishments. We are solely responsible for weaving our cocoon and supplying enough strength for our butterfly to emerge. The building of these layers is a quintessential part of our life, and if we keep an open mind and make wise decisions, we can set free a beautiful butterfly.
Thank you, Kumud. Our next speaker is Daniel Kumud.
Family, friends, faculty, and fellow graduates, good afternoon. I asked someone what they thought the differences were between a day at Okemos High School and a day at a high school in Africa or Asia. The reply was that they couldn't possibly make the comparison, that it would be like comparing apples and oranges. Now that's an idiom I never quite understood. After all, they're both fruit, right? I wondered what it was that made them so incomparable, so I decided to give it some thought. Why have we as people chosen to develop this immutable perception of the differences between an apple and an orange? They weigh about the same amount, and they're both basically spherical in shape. Still, everyone sitting here in front of me, eager to graduate, as well as all their guests, can decisively say that this is an apple, and this is an orange, solely on the basis of skin color. Admittedly, there are more subtle differences. They grow on different trees, they have different flavors and aromas, and these things all help people classify them. But what is the effect of making these distinctions? For fruit, it helps us decide what we want to eat. But for people, concentrating on differences has led to imprisonment, war, mass slavery, and genocide. There are so many places in the world today where differences among people have generated serious problems. The ethnic war in Bosnia, the neo-Nazi uprisings throughout Europe. Even the racial tensions at Olivet College right here in Michigan are an example of extreme prejudice. Belaboring the differences between races, genders, nationalities, and religions has led to confusion and chaos throughout the history of humankind. If, however, I recall the apple and the orange I have here in my hands, I realize that I like them both, and I like them for different reasons, since they are each unique in what they offer. This is true of cultural differences as well. The richness and diversity of the world we live in can be attributed to individual traits that many types of people possess. So where do we find the balance of enjoying and attacking the discrepancies between people? It seems inappropriate to pass judgment in any way, positive or negative, on someone based upon factors that are determined before their birth. Yet, celebrating one's heritage can still be significant in one's development. I don't profess to know how to strike such a balance. Although it is an obstacle, it is not an impasse, but a quandary that demands our attention. Cliched as it may sound, we are a manifestation of the world's future. And more than ever, we may be called upon to try and solve this age-old puzzle. We may not be able to fit all the pieces together now, but I do hope that with all we've learned in Okemos, inside and more importantly outside of the classroom, we'll be better equipped to try. So even though I may not have an answer to my original question, what the differences between Okemos and an African or Asian high school are, I do know two things. What truly matters is that we're all human beings, and that this human being is ready to graduate.
Thank you, Dan. Our final speaker in the program today will be Brad Scriber.
Dr. Wirtz, Dr. Lanzetta, members of the board, teachers, parents, family, and friends, we have had a tough year. Moving up through the ranks in high school, there's a certain mysticism that evolves around senior year. When seniors walk through the halls, they're respected. They know the school. They've paid their dues. Senior year is the year to be captain of the team or to get the lead in the play. It's the year to take a trip to Cancun on spring break. Everything goes perfectly during senior year. It is a chance to make some real decisions about identity and direction. It is a chance to trade pictures and share memories. Everyone has fun. Prom is perfect, and the class has one final year to come together and really get to know each other. Senior year is a year full of smiles, laughter, and eventually of goodbyes. Of course, no one wants to think about saying goodbye. But this year, the high school community had to say 3 very painful goodbyes to 3 very special people. The deaths of Matt Barks, of Scott Lisi, and of Andrea Bertrand touched every one of us and upset the rhythm of this magical, idealized year. Nowhere in the legend of senior year did it ever say that this was the year to lose your friends forever. Searching for answers to questions like, where will I go to college? Will I survive so far away from home? Will I ever have friends again who are as important to me as the friends I have now? Is strenuous enough for a high schooler. But to compound these dilemmas with the ultimate questions of human mortality and the fragile nature of life creates such a swirl of confusion and insecurity that it is a struggle just to face each new day. However, as we have struggled together over the past months, we have had the chance to realize one of life's most valuable messages. That is the fact that the memories of the times we have spent with each other are the most important things we could ever possibly give to each other. When everything that can be lost is lost, we find that the things we are left with, our memories of special times with special people, are the only things that really matter. When I think of the laughs I shared with Matt, I feel good. And I feel as if, despite the fact that we are not physically together, there is still a connection between us. Memories have a unique ability to transcend geographic distances, chronological separation, and even personality changes. They can sleep in the backs of our minds for years without us noticing them in the slightest way, and then come alive at the oddest moments, carrying us back hundreds of miles, over years and years, back into a person we were in a time that doesn't exist anymore in any place but in our minds. When we leave this field today, we will begin the process of redefining our lives. Our friendships may weaken with time and distance, or they may go stronger through longing. We may end up living next door to each other, or we may not even recognize one another walking down the street in 5 years. There's no way to know. But we will each carry away our own personal collection of events, emotions, and impressions that we will return to again and again, no matter where we are or when it is. And just as we can bring to life in our recollections those friends we have had to say goodbye to already this year, we will be able to bring to life again the joy we have shared in high school, and the incredible feeling we have now as we sit balanced on the boundary between our futures and our past. Thank you, class of '93, for being there during all we've been through.
After listening to those four young people, it is obvious that how they would qualify to speak before us this afternoon. Great job. I now invite you once again to enjoy the sounds of the Okemos High School Sonical Singers under the direction of our choral music director, Mr. Frank DeWald. Thank you, Mr. DeWald and Sonical Singers. It is now my great pleasure to certify to Mr. Hunting, Board President, and to Superintendent Wirtz that the students who are about to be awarded their diplomas this afternoon have met all the graduation requirements established by the Board of Education to qualify for graduation from the Okemos Public Schools. And we will begin awarding those diplomas with the first row, please.
Lainey Dunlap von Bernuth. Jeremy Ryan Kirsch. Daniel E. Coons. Ryan Scott Palmer. Kumud Qatar. Priti Kapoor. Bradley William Smucker. Bradley Adam Scriber. Brian Forney. Paul Charles Sanger. Rachel Kathleen Freeman. Kaylin DeCarly. Kristen Lee Hofecker. Daphne Hong Chang Wang. Graham Bruce Hunting. James McKean Johnson. Jamie Christine Welling. Tara Kathleen Lynch. Kendra Gail Wilhelm. Carolyn Marie Stanzik. Keith Alice Thompson. Timothy Ryan Dunnick. Grace Lynn. Joy Elizabeth Struble. Tyler Lee Smith. David Ainsley Webb. Amy Louise Fowler. Amy Beth Gall. Rachel Marie Pollock. Angela Marie Dove. Christopher Dunstan Haynes.
All right, Chris.
William John Celio Jr. Jana Cheryl Rumminger. Michael Gregory Dudek. Trisha Ann Voss. Annie Laura Cole. Carola Nicole Martinez. Brian Luther Carpenter.
All right, Brady.
Kevin Lee McEwen. R. Jason Styka. Brandy Christine Johnson. Lisa Marguerite Lonschwager. Sarah Lynn Hecker. Danitza Gurdich. Jonathan Siegel. Eugene Reichel. Rachel Lynn Robison. Anne Jennifer DeLind. Ruth Rafaela Lopez McKnight. Jeremy M. Pinter. Mariana Justine Constant. Cassandra Ellen Thornburg. Eric Andrew Zykas. Ashley Robert Ames. Kay Lee. Kathy Lee. Norman William Schleif III. Stephen David Schneider. Amy Lynn Cooper. Amanda Jo Burns. Matthew Adam Flechter. Todd Andrew Wozni. Kyle Shannon Wolf. Robin Michelle Lonergan. Anita Marie Forbes. Amy Nicole Matthew. Nicholas T. Minnick. Mark Andrew Ilgen. Faye Lynn Scheffler. Kimberly Lee Thrush. Sarah Susanna Morgan. Yumi Kim. Mai Motobuchi. Magna Visa. Martha Friedman. Scott Ostroff. Julie Anne-Marie Fischel. Deanna Rachel Yellen. Jeffrey Todd Mosier. Jennifer Ellen Moore. Heather Michelle Bryan. Elizabeth Ann Iskar. Jason Rao. Duncan M. Patterson. Maria Galvan. Kristen Johnson. Jacob H. Knoll. Christopher Mitchell Burke. Carrie Alice Denbo. Colleen Teresa Armstrong. Kristen Robinson. Lori Elaine Fluker. Adrian Marie Moore. Stephanie Marie Poirier. Adam Somm. Brian Hell. Jeffrey Michael Stein. Scott Estfon. Samuel Thomas Wall. Carlos Anthony Nickerson. Andrea Michelle Redmond. Renee Mercer. Joseph Jesuit. Joshua David Carroll. Carolyn Marie Kiefer. Kathleen Mary Vargas. Nancy Chison Kim. Chona Huang. Tim Monahan. Sean Sackeld. Laurel Marie Dersch. Michelle Adina Levine. Robert Matthew Cameron. Jesse Allen Hembroff Forsma. Elizabeth Joy Connor. Jennifer Lee Mioch. Kelly Renee Dean. Karen Elizabeth Getz. Jason Farrand. Robert Cheatham. James Michael Cottam. Gary Earl Stirk, Jr. Julia Melinda Moore. Tracy Lynn Fate. Robin Joy Summers. Kara Marie Garvale. Nicole Ann Edwards. Danielle Margot Martinez. Sean Patrick McElmurray. Alexander Louis Fugazi II. Emily Suzanne Gallagher. Katie Leah Anderson. Frederick B. Harsh. David Milo Johnson. Lori Ann Schultz. Lorelei Hatfield. Joseph Paul Wright. Stephen Whitney Charkett. Jennifer Dawn Hunt. Melanie K. Summers. Myung Kim. Benjamin G. Harris. Jessica Ruth Rubner. Jamie Lynn Root. William Arnold Hagan. Jonathan David Hoyt. Diana Gail Seals. Amy Christine Lay. Stephen Ehrig II. Louisa Skirvin. Justin Michael Wadland. Amir Jabbar Sheikh. Laura Colleen Pavona. Cutting Dinah Vituals. Stephen McFarland. Fong Tran. Leland Calloway. Aaron Cavaskill. Chris Hazard. Dustin Andrew Rapaski. Kunal Arora. Sean M. Zeller. Kimberly Marie Brewer. Jody Eldridge. Ben Loescher. John Adam Swords III. Stacy Sheldon. Annie Jarvis. Mark William Wysinski. Daryl L. Moy. Toya Toki Curry. Sarah Lynn Jermu. Jay Leone. Dennis Michael Lindell. Patrick Henry Naud. Brian F. Bernier. Matt Smith. Brandon Kent Lyon. Cassandra Marie Batterson. Bonnie Lynn Bozak. Neil David Rowley. Kevin Alex Robel. Carrie Lynn Bartow. Carlos Edwards Austinch. Erica Lynn Smith. Tanya Renee Trasinski. Michael David Pell. Jared William Parker. Nicholas Antonio Brunschweiler. Brandon Roger High. Gregory John Tiemann. Stephanie Irene Johnson. Tiffany Lynn Hodge. Mike Dorr. Tuan Trong. Andrea Michelle Snoffer. Leanne Hammond Simon. Richard Michael Robinson. Michael Francis Jones. Stephen Andrew Smith. Mark Ryan Kuczynski. Heather Ann Harper. Susanna Rosa Gelbke. Christopher Josephowitz. Scott Charles Noble. Michael Zacka. Zach Rosen. Jewel Frankhouse. Amy Beth Heath. Timothy Drum. Brendan Canning. Christopher James Chittenden. Eric Nathan Engel. Andy Barrett. Gabe Bruner. Virginia Therese Baker. Tu Ho. Jason Elliott Adams. Mark Daniel Markham. Andrew Dean Bacon. John Rice. Peter John Kulik. John Philip Pierce. Benjamin James Coltis. Jason Joseph Trahan. Amy Elizabeth Senkowitz. Lisa Diane Predko. David Milo Herring Jr. Andrew Francis Perry. Kevin Michael Toby. Douglas Dawson. John Green. Daniel Grady. Abir El Ahmad. Gabriel Caton. Catherine Elizabeth Smith. Sarah A. Bielski. Derek Olin McTaggart. Travis Warren Wilson Johnson. Nicole Huber. Marty Shope. Amy Suzanne Hossinger. Dawn Marie Pickrell. Sasha Zoe Reinecke. Philip James Kinney. Tala Kulik.
Hi, Heather.
Don't go. I have a good time.
Okay, I'm gonna zoom in on you, Brian.
Heather, do me a favor.
What?
Turn the damn thing off.
No, I don't think so.
And all of a sudden, Dr. for something with a fatal heart attack and saved the...
What? I know. I need some light. I need more light.
away over there.
What?
It's gone.
I need more light.
Heather, Heather, here, catch this. Put down the camera. Heather,
No, what?
how many things can you do at the same time? You hold that and film on Jesse and I throw our knives at it. Either both directions.
Wait, I need more light. Okay, I can get these three in with good light, but you guys, I need more light on.
Darn, why don't I have my rest of the day?
Hi, Paul.
Oh, turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off.
It's your day. You handle it.
Oh my gosh. Say something amusing for prosperity.
I don't do that.
Jesse asked. That's right. Oh, I forgot. Got that one.
We gotta film you in there, Heather.
That's okay.
No!
Okay. I'll hold the camera.
Can you grab the camera?
Definitely I can give a kid.
There you go. Go on, Evan. Transfer while it's still going.
There we go. Get a very close zoom on the
I'm just looking for that. There you go.
Don't zoom in on me. I think I got food.
Something interesting. I rule. The red lights are.
Yeah, it's recording.
Something interesting.
No, the main part of Heather that we only can notice, Heather's mouth.
It's very large.
And then we've got Paul.
To keep its mouth shut.
And then of course there's Kumud. And
I can say something very truthful. We're gonna beat you guys in pool.